Surprising, isn't it, that there are new and safer ways to cross the street? It's surprising as well that entire communities are changing in order to make it safer and easier for pedestrians to get about. There are new and safer ways to bicycle as well, new types of bikes too. There's lots of friendly people to ride with and learn from, like the folks from the senior community of the Villages in Central Florida. The Villages began over 30 years ago as a trailer park community. Now over 60,000 seniors live and play together in this golf cart-based society.
Well, you know, when I first came here, what I did notice is that unlike my other community, all the people here were pretty close within 10 years of my age or so, and that they were very, very active. They weren't like my grandmother and my grandfather sitting around just in their old age. People were actually getting out on neighborhood bicycles and greeting each other, walking, and of course it's a golf cart community. So that gave rise to a lot of people to get out of their cars that, you know, they sit in all closed up and get out and enjoy the fresh air and kind of explore, because the village was growing and they could actually roll with the villages and see the development as it was happening. I seen this as a good positive thing because I myself got on my bicycle and started venturing around, and I noticed lots of other people were doing the same thing. And then the formation of the bicycle club came out of that beginning. My buddy Jim Mount and I had been riding together for several years, and we kept saying that we need to start a club in the villages. And we really enjoyed the countryside, getting out in the farms, just a tenth of a mile outside the villages. The countryside, it was like when I was a kid, my folks used to take me out of the city and we used to make the Sunday ride up into the countryside to visit members of the family that lived far away. Well, you know, we kind of missed that, and here we are as adults, and now we can do that in bicycles. And Jim and I thought, well, we need to share this with others. So we said we're going to start a club. In the beginning, we had 30 people show up, and today we have well over 300. We had 30 people at our first meeting, and sometimes we have 40 people show up for a bicycle ride today. So it's growing tremendously.
Russ and Jim often take their show on the road. At the recent Pro Bike Pro Walk conference in Tampa, they presented an educational program to other seniors featuring the inspiration behind the Villages Bicycling Association.
Our members really are comprised of just regular folks who basically rode bicycles when they were kids, went to work and watched their children grow up riding bicycles while they went to work, and then retired and said, oh my gosh, I think I want to go out and have some fun again. And so, you know, those same children that they bought bicycles for when teenagers, when the parents retired, bought their parents' bicycles. So we all got paid back. And we started riding around the neighborhoods. And we see this day in and day out. As this community grows, we continue to see this repeated and repeated and repeated. Well, one of the positive things about belonging to a bicycle club is, number one, we can support each other. A lot of times, even though we know how to ride bicycles, it's back from the days of coaster bikes with coaster brakes and everything. And today, you know, it's a kind of a different environment with cycling, and most of us are riding in the roads today. So riding with a group, we learn safety features, we learn how to ride safely with traffic. Although the traffic's not heavy in the community we live in, we still have cars riding alongside of us. We bring the safety issues up and riding styles in the club, and we start everybody off at a beginner, but we don't call them beginners. It's more of a social ride, and an awful lot of our people start enjoying themselves on these short rides, and then they graduate up into an intermediate rider, and then sometimes some of them even go beyond that and get out there and really hit the road for some heavy mileage. But for the most part, even the people that just stay at the social level are physically in a much better condition. Instead of struggling to do a few miles, they are actually out there enjoying it. And it's hard to make them go home some days. They just want to stay on their bicycles. Well, you know, one of the nicest things about living in a community such as the Villages is that they have golf cart lanes and what they call transportation trails. So when we started the club, our intention was really to use those to get people and put them into a comfort zone. We used the trails just in the beginning, and what we got them is riding stable so they weren't wobbling around, and we taught them the basics of how to deal with oncoming traffic, whether it was walkers or golf carts. And then we graduated to the roadside, and where we're in a lane adjacent to the traffic, you know, at the edge of the road, and rode around like that, and we still do today. And that's where we start our social group, and certainly we've graduated over a period of time as people got comfort into a comfort zone. We graduated out to the real road and real traffic, but by that time people have all the experience of dealing with those issues. As we talk to people, a lot of people you know, would run up to Walmart and Kmart to buy a bicycle, pretty much what you would do for your own children. But we've advised them to go to a bicycle shop because we can fit a bicycle to you, to not only your size, but also to your experience and your level of riding. And if you have a bicycle like that, you're going to enjoy cycling much more. So it's important to have a bicycle shop that understands the needs of the community. We're very fortunate here is that I and other people have gone to the local bicycle shops and explained to them what we were doing here in terms of cycling, and because of us, they have more cycles in there that we're looking for. So we have given them business, and in turn, they have channeled their business to accommodate us. So it's worked well. And one of the things about retiring and aging is that as we leave our jobs and we retire to our homes and we sit inside, we lose that contact we had when we were at work. And with a bicycle club, that renews that. We're out there in a fresh air, we're getting a little bit healthier, but we have that social contact. Our club is not unique in as much as that we're a bicycle club, but it's unique in as much as that all the folks that are out there are retired, and this gives us something to do. A lot of us have made lifelong friends through the bicycle club, that we participate in other things, and we go on vacations together and dances together. So it's a good way to get out and meet people. We've brought an awful lot of people out of their shell. When we see somebody that's riding alone, we grab them and we get them into the club. You know, we have some of our fellas and gals out there that if it wasn't for the club, they would probably not really have the social involvement that they presently have. Unlike, you know, when you were younger, everybody was racing around on the bicycles to see how fast you can get to the next intersection. Most of us are carrying on conversations and talking about the day's events and what you're doing this weekend, and maybe going out to dinner with each other. Sometimes we're just commenting on the state of affairs. I imagine most of us have solved the world problems on the back of a bicycle. About 2 years ago, the club thought maybe we need to do something as individuals to give back to the community, and I suggested that we keep that in line with bicycles. So we have collected bicycles from the folks that no longer ride, and we've done a little repair work. Last year, we turned over to the police department over 120 bicycles, and we gave 20 bicycles to the Girl Scout camp in Wildwood, Florida, that had mountain tires so they could ride down there on the trails. And they have actually started a cycling program this summer because of us.